All right, chat. Today we are gonna be reacting to the Coffeezilla video. Now, obviously, he's investigating AI deepfakes in this video, and I think there's always time to talk about AI and how it's affecting our world. So I feel like obviously you should know who Coffeezilla is. If you don't, you'll get to know him in this video. But let's get into it.
Today we're investigating
AI deepfakes
for the scams,
propaganda,
and harassment that they enable.
Pretty spooky, right? Now, I tried to make this video 4 years ago, but I failed because it was too difficult to even demonstrate the technology. But today, anyone can be deepfaked, even the internet detective. Hi, everybody. This is Coffeezilla, and I don't usually do videos like this, but the crypto market is going through a major crash. Now, let me stop me right there. I can't believe I used to trust that guy. But truthfully, nobody is really safe from this tech. Mr. Beast, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Joe Rogan, Lex Fridman, The Rock, John Cena, they've all been deepfaked. And it's not just for scams, viral videos, news reports. The White House has even shared deepfakes. And today, I want to investigate all of it so we can finally learn what's real and what's fake.
Man, bro, it's come a long way, very short amount of time. That's why I always say, and like if y'all comment something, I'm always like, you never know with AI, bro. It's so, the stuff that's happening with it is exponential.
All right, before we can investigate deepfakes, let's break down what they are. A deepfake is just a piece of media that makes a person do or say something that never happened using deep learning. Hence the word deepfake. The technology has been around since 2017, but it started going viral with this.
I'm gonna show you some magic.
I remember this, bro.
It's the real thing.
Except, of course,
how
it's
long
not the
ago
real
was
thing.
this?
That's not Tom Cruise. It's Miles Fisher, and he's the co-founder of Metaphysic AI. And he deepfaked himself several times, fooling almost everyone. If you made a chart of realism from 0 to 100, this felt like a 90. And I was worried
it was
about
really
how
high.
it could be abused with scams, especially as they put in more effort, time, and money to push the realism. And that's why I reached out to Metaphysic AI.
And to speak on this, before we get too far into it, there's people making thousands of dollars on Instagram and TikTok because the technology got that cheap and it's that readily available. There's a way that you can like deepfake whatever you want, like, and there's people taking advantage on Instagram because they can literally just make themselves like an IG model. People are like, oh, this and this, Will Smith eating spaghetti. It is not Will Smith eating spaghetti anymore. It is nowhere near that.
To collaborate, and they agreed to deepfake me so I could warn people. But unfortunately, that's when I hit a roadblock because I learned about the incredibly complicated technology behind Deep Tom Cruise. I would need multiple broadcast cameras, lights. I had to read a special script, and that's just to get the model trained. Then you have to act, and for a variety of reasons, I wasn't able to finish the video. The magic of Deep Tom Cruise was that they made a very complicated process just look really easy. But ultimately, I'm glad I didn't finish that video because I was about to warn the world about this kind of hyper-realistic deepfake. And that's kind of what the world already is worried about, right? Because it captures our imagination. We can all imagine a world where this is the norm, that you really can't
where
tell
you
what's
just
real
can't
or fake.
tell
And
what
that's
you're
why
looking
every
at.
few years, a hyper-real deepfake celebrity goes viral because it's a step towards that fear.
we're entering an era in which our enemies can make it look like anyone is saying anything at any point in time, like Jordan Peele.
Just like,
But today I'm convinced
I was about to
there's a
say,
bigger
just like
risk,
this video.
something that I spent very little time worrying about, which is actually the dumb deepfakes, the slop deepfakes, the obviously bad ones that were made on consumer apps. The kind of deepfakes you don't need professional equipment for or a Hollywood team for. Early on, most people
some of these were
and myself
fooling
just
people,
disregarded
too.
them because it just seemed like they were obviously fake. But the threat I didn't see coming was that curve we saw earlier flattening, and the low-effort deepfakes starting to get realistic,
Started to get
enough
more
to
realistic.
fool enough people, and that makes them far more dangerous than Deep Tom Cruise could ever be. Because unlike him, anyone can make slop deepfakes easily and at scale. And of course,
That was the
exactly
issue,
what
is
happened
that
in 2025,
it's
literally
easier at
the year
scale.
of slop. That's when we all saw a tidal wave of content, and it's not a surprise why. AI
Yeah,
tools had gotten cheap
that was
enough,
what I was
easy
talking
enough,
about. Like
and just good
that
enough
fake
to
video
flood
where it's
social
like
media.
people can
And
just
unfortunately,
cosplay as
I think
somebody now.
deepfakes are experiencing the same phenomenon.
Completely,
Just
with like
think about
consumer
the difference
apps.
between the two approaches. 4 years ago, I was set to collaborate with a world-leading deepfake company. I would need their help.
That was doing a
specialized
lot.
technology,
They had to
custom
do a
training
lot
set,
to
and
do
a
this.
huge amount of data. But today, I deepfaked the intro you saw in the beginning with two $20 subscriptions by myself. I used the likeness of 3 presidents, the world's richest man, the world's most popular YouTuber and podcaster, and had them all say things they never said. And how long did it take me? 2 days. Mostly because I'd never done it before. And you might say, well, it didn't look as real as Deep Tom Cruise, and that's absolutely
true, but it looks good enough.
I'm starting to ask,
that's the
does it
issue.
Need to be that real, to fool enough people to be dangerous? How good is the average person anyways at telling the difference between AI fakes and the real thing? And this is where I realized I needed an expert's help. So I went to the Discord diner to find answers. Can you tell me your name and what it is you do?
My name is Hani Farid. I'm a professor here at the University of California, Berkeley, where I specialize in digital forensics, misinformation.
So this guy's gonna know what he's talking
about the type of work that I do, which is building computational and mathematical techniques to detect fake content, is do you need it? Can your visual system and your auditory system tell? We run in my lab here at UC Berkeley perceptual studies where we, for example, have people look at images. Half of them are real, half of them are fake. Hundreds and hundreds of participants, they're barely above chance. Images are through what we call the uncanny valley. They are now indistinguishable. Now with voices, same thing. Real voices, fake voices, half real, half fake. We published this study just about a year ago, I think, maybe 9 months ago. Also barely above chance. With video is interesting. So video is, we are doing this literally as we speak. We have a paper under review right now. I would say it's a little bit better than images, a little bit better than audio. Your accuracy, where chance is 50%, is about 70%, give or take. So slightly above chance. But again, in the best possible situation, in a lab setting where we're telling you what to do, they're not emotional videos, they're not partisanship, you don't have a prior belief. I would say within the next 12 months, full-blown video is gonna be over. Right? Yep. It's over.
Let me repeat that. Most people cannot tell fake audio. They can't tell fake pictures. And in 12 months, they probably won't be able to tell fake videos. What does this mean for us?
It means people who are
will
living
be
deceived
in a world of media. That is what this investigation is about. We're going to look at the 3 biggest applications of deepfakes in your life. Specifically, scams, propaganda, and explicit media. Starting with scams, where deepfakes are used all of the time to impersonate people, whether it be a loved one, a celebrity, an influencer like Mr. Beast. They're usually deepfaked to sell a worthless product.
If you're watching this video, you're one of
which
the
is like,
10,000
okay,
lucky
it's
people
fake.
who'll get an iPhone 15 Pro for just $2.
That Alpha Grind product that's all over TikTok.
Oh, this
if
one
you
was
go to
bad.
Amazon
The
and
Joe
you
Rogan
type
one was
in
really
libido
bad.
Booster for men, you're gonna find it right at the top.
Or in my case, cryptocurrency.
But it's in moments like these that the best opportunities are born.
Sometimes they're even selling companionship.
We'll get through this together, step by step. You're not alone, and I love you more than words can say.
But the goal every time is to leverage your trust in the deepfaked identity and use it to make money. One of the most common schemes are live streams of President Trump or other famous CEOs.
Like live streams when they hack people's channels and
If you want to come out
stuff.
stronger, you need to build your portfolio back up fast. And that QR code is your gateway. Minimum
And it's like
0.1 BTC.
And it's like people believe this
you
because
send, you get double.
some people just get fooled.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, of course, President Trump is not actually going to double your money, and scammers just steal whatever you send. But despite YouTube trying for years to shut this down, they keep popping up. These scammers keep bypassing restrictions all the time, and sadly, YouTube CEO even admits it's getting harder to detect what's real and what's AI generated, which he says is critical for detecting
Poor Neil,
fakes.
bro. Neil is
Because
trying
of
his
this,
best.
YouTube in 2026 is rolling out new tools to help creators catch deep fakes. But even those solutions aren't perfect.
My name is Dr. Mikhail Varshavsky, better known as Dr. Mike. I'm a board-certified family medicine physician who makes content online focusing on busting health misinformation. We are fortunate enough that we're participating in a beta with the YouTube team on something called the likeness detection tool to potentially flag instances where people are misusing my image, my likeness to say things that I'm not saying.
Have you seen yourself deep faked in the wild yet?
I am deepfaked in the wild every single day, numerous times a day. We're trying our best to fight back against that, given certain platforms have tools to fight back against this. But then there are platforms where you have no say, and you just have to be okay with your image being misused.
Yep.
Right. Dr. Mike highlights a problem. He's in the YouTube detection program stopping deepfakes. But even if that
But
were perfect,
for
on other
Instagram, for
platforms,
TikTok,
there's just nothing to
for
help
Twitter,
them.
there's
The
nothing.
problem in this space is you're only as good as the lowest common denominator. You can have 9 out of 10 of these platforms doing the right thing, and
But
one
if
of them not.
one
That's where the
isn't,
bad guy goes.
then it's GG's.
Well, of course, to the place who allows deep fakes. Now, I should mention, it's not always a
gonna
real
bring up
doctor,
Twitter.
detective, or Mr. Beast that's being impersonated. Sometimes the deep fake isn't even of a real person, but the scam is some kind of bait and switch. Like when Corridor Digital showed how an AI modeling photo was used to bait and switch people into buying a product that wasn't what they advertised. And this is actually a huge problem in e-commerce. The YouTuber Pleasant Green made a video about a trend of old people selling you handcrafted products, only to find out that all these old artisans are AI generated, and the real owners are selling cheap Chinese knockoffs, which look nothing like the product photos.
Yeah.
That cute couple selling you hand-knit sweaters, they don't exist. But
They
even
don't
if
exist.
the primary use of deepfakes is impersonating real or fake people,
Yeah.
sometimes it's just to make the scam more efficient or to be safer. Think about scam callers. Previously, they needed a big call center. Sometimes they would get raided. But nowadays, those same companies can replace their workers with 10 times as many AI
Yeah.
callers who don't sleep, don't ask for a raise, sound like a human, and most importantly, do not blow the whistle on you, making the operation both more
Yep.
scalable.
Like, and it's so crazy too, because it's more about deepfakes we're talking about in this video, but like audio, AI audio is really good now. Like there's a lot of people on YouTube that have thousands of dollars earned on YouTube just off of AI voices. It's gotten that good. Now, it's not that crazy yet, but the whole thing with it is like once you go one way, it's gonna just keep moving until you don't recognize it. So yeah, you might start over here and it's like, yeah, I understand that's Will Smith eating spaghetti. The audio sounds all weird. That's not Will Smith. And then you get over here and Will Smith deep fakes himself in a movie and you didn't even know that he wasn't in the movie. You know what I mean? Like that's or he wasn't there on set. That's the reality that we're talking about.
Safer to run. As someone who busts scams all the time, by the way, I can tell you it's usually the ex-wife, coworkers, contractors who unravel the whole thing. But if you need fewer people, your risk goes down. Just look at Checkpoint Research, a cybersecurity firm who recently uncovered malware called VoidLink. It was described as highly modular, advanced with adaptive stealth, resembling the efforts of multiple teams of professionals, they said. Now, previously, all of that would be expensive and risky to maintain that headcount. But a few days later, Checkpoint Research discovered most of the code was authored almost entirely by artificial intelligence in less than a week, likely under the direction of a single individual. So AI is making sophisticated scamming possible for the first time in history
by an
as
individual
a solo operator. And it's much safer that way, with the tools for stealing credibility or just completely faking your identity easier than ever. And in the best of times, this would all represent a very serious threat.
Yeah.
But we are also in a crime is legal era, making it hard to
crypto
believe
fraud,
we're gonna put up a fight against deepfake scams, especially when our government actually kind of loves deepfakes. Like, a lot. A lot. Which brings us to our next application, propaganda, which is not new, but deepfakes are kind of the evolution of it. Now, most people assume propaganda is brainwashing. It's something that only dumb people fall for. It could never affect me, but the effects are much more complicated than you might realize. Take, for instance, these videos of Venezuelans crying tears of joy after their leader was captured.
Oye, el dictador cayó. Finalmente. Estamos libres, estamos libres.
And it's like, how can people tell that this is fake? You know what I mean?
Hermano, esto es real. Estamos libres. Mira, mira cómo está la gente. ¡Viva Venezuela libre! Gracias, maestro. ¡Viva la libertad!
Now, these videos were used as evidence that America's raid on Maduro was actually a great thing, even for the people of Venezuela. But those clips, turns out, are not real. They're, of course, AI-generated propaganda. And we should ask, what was the goal and effect of those videos?
To persuade people that is the sentiment when it wasn't the sentiment,
and that clearly
if it was the
because
case.
These videos went viral. But what is the effect on people who didn't fall for it? The people who saw it get debunked a day later? I know I was one of those people who happened to see
it trains you to believe more later on.
Debunked video. And I brought it up with my buddy who we'd been talking about this situation. I asked where he heard Venezuelans liked our overthrow. He responded he was just reading Reddit, no objective data. I said a few fake AI videos were floating. Hard to know what's real. He replied, yep, could be bots on Reddit as well. So think about this. Me and my friend are trying to just learn what's true, but we realize there's fake AI videos, could be bots, astroturfing. What's propaganda's effect on us? I mean, honestly, it's
harder
just
to find.
suspicion of everything.
And this is the real danger.
So you
here,
start
is
having
that
a
we
suspicion of
cognitively
what's
check-
real, and we don't need to get into that on this video, but there's a lot of things. Just
because we
leave
give
it
up.
in there.
It's just too complicated.
Put it in the comments.
We don't know what to believe. We don't know what not to believe. So we're like, all right, okay, just I give up. Right? That's not a good outcome for a democracy.
Not at
so
all.
Here's what I can tell you about Venezuela. I must have seen a dozen videos of people celebrating and thanking Trump. Every single one of them was fake. The answer to these questions are always complicated and nuanced. Was there somebody on some street corner celebrating? 100% I believe that is to be the case, right? But I also think, in this particular case, figuring out what is happening in the world is incredibly complicated. Doing that in moments of military conflict is particularly complicated. And particularly when everybody wants an answer right now.
Yeah, he's right. And because everyone wants that answer now, propaganda is happy to step in.
Yeah.
But the goal and effect
and
of
then they get that
propaganda
answer and they're like,
isn't just one
okay.
thing. For some people, obviously, they made up their mind immediately before the facts came in. But for me and
Which is
others
the
who may have seen
issue.
that debunk video, the effect was more suspicion. And that's funny because
Which is also the
later, if
issue.
you look at the polling way after the event, it turns out lots of Latin Americans and even Venezuelans were indeed happy about Maduro being removed. It's just that those videos were totally fake and not based on any kind of facts. So I'm not saying deepfake propaganda is always wrong and the opposite is always true.
Yeah.
But propaganda is always fake and it makes real facts harder to find. In other words, it doesn't stop people from working to get informed. It just makes people feel like getting informed is too much work. This is honestly well understood in places like Russia, who are more familiar with propaganda, but Westerners are far more naive. They think they could never fall for such cheap tricks.
Man.
I grew up in Russia, and when people in the West talk about propaganda, I usually understand the theory they're describing, but emotionally it feels foreign, because what they imagine is very clean, very cinematic. Real propaganda is messer, more boring, more human.
Yep.
For a long time I thought propaganda was something that only worked on people who weren't very smart. And that belief
is
itself
not
is
the
exactly
case.
what propaganda relies on. Because propaganda doesn't need to make you stupid, it just needs to make you tired. When you live inside it, propaganda doesn't arrive as an event. There is no moment where you say, ah yes, now the propaganda has begun. The real version is quieter, more psychological, more human. Propaganda doesn't.
Yo, chat, a Russian accent is fire, bro. If you have a Russian accent, bro, that's like top 3 accents all time.
You believe. It talks until you're too tired to care, and that's why it works.
Yeah, he's right. And now imagine what happens when slop deepfakes allow propaganda to be churned out at scale. To be clear, this isn't something that's going to happen in the future. It's already happening. Deepfakes were deployed in the Russian-Ukraine conflict, Israel-Gaza, fake war videos, fake speeches. Deepfakes are everywhere. People even disagree about which ones are the deepfakes. And it's only getting harder to spot. This photo of Alex Preddy on the ground in Minneapolis, where the details are crisp and clear.
It's getting real, real
The
recent.
next one, also fake. The real version is blurry. But which one did a congressman use?
Exactly.
Well, of course, the fake photo.
The clear one.
When MSNBC also showed an image of Alex Preddy to audiences, it was an AI deepfake photo, which made him look more tan, more conventionally attractive. Just recently, the White House deepfaked an arrest photo to make a lady seem like she was crying when she was not. When people noticed it, you might expect an apology, but the White House responded instead, the memes
They're
will
just
continue.
memes.
And I've noticed that's kind of the modern excuse for using propaganda. You'll notice whenever someone's political allies use deepfakes, they'll excuse it as a meme or just a troll, right? But when someone's enemies use deepfakes, it's misinformation. It's inexcusable, right? The video of their opponents getting arrested, oh, that's funny. That's a joke. But the video of their friends getting arrested, that's a call to violence. That's dangerous. Now, personally, I think all of this should be called what it is. It's political propaganda. But don't expect politicians to stop using it, because this is their dream come true. At the press of a button, they can make anything, any narrative seem
fake.
real. And if people catch them, they can just say, oh, it was a joke. Of course, even if they can't say it's a joke, like this AI-generated ad of a congressman.
I just voted to keep the government shut down. They say it'll hurt farmers, but I wouldn't know. I've only seen a farm on Instagram.
Well, technically, they told you it was AI generated in the bottom left of the clip. Now, of course, most people aren't going to notice that, but what's most worrying to me is that most people don't seem to care about the use of fully AI-generated propaganda if it suits their bias. In fact, when you tell someone that a video or image
it goes
is
with the
fake,
tire
they
thing,
sometimes
the
will
tire
resist
thing
it
from
because
earlier.
they actually kind of want it to be true. Take, for instance, Joe Rogan.
Have you seen this video?
I haven't seen it. Please play it. I haven't seen it.
Please, Jamie, find that
Tim
video.
Walsh
But this is weird.
That was a big mistake.
It's probably a real person. It might not be Tim Walsh. The Trump is AI generated.
No, he slaps his ass.
I mean, that is hilarious.
Oh, it's definitely him. This is all 100% real, Jamie. You're a plant by the government.
Jamie's compromised, and I'm worried about Jamie, and I'm worried about Grok.
Does it say that it's AI?
Grok AI. That's another chapter.
Everybody says
The
it.
video I played on top says it's AI generated.
Rep
Oh,
Riley
so
Moore
what?
fell for an AI-generated video of Minnesota. I fell for it too.
Now, I love this clip.
Yeah, because he
shows
says,
a
"Oh, I fell
bias
for it too."
So clearly that we all
Because of
do.
my bias.
Rogan sees something that's AI generated. He believes it because it already fits something he already kind of believes to be true.
Yeah.
But when Jamie tells him he's falling for AI generated propaganda, he resists it until it's so obvious that he admits kind of why he fell for it in the first place.
And you know why I fell for it?
Yeah.
Because I believe that he's capable of doing something.
But that's his
dumb.
essence.
He's so weird.
Yeah, the reason he fell for it is because the deepfake already fit Joe's view of the world. And so it bypassed the obvious red flags that would be clear to someone else. And it's the same reason that people on the left would believe a story about Trump's leaked Epstein audio.
Not releasing the Epstein files. Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't care what you do. Start a war. Just don't let him get out. If I go down, I will bring all of you down with me.
Listen to how the
AI
audio
clip that
sounds.
circulated. It's fake. It's also the reason people believed videos about food stamp entitled moms.
Y'all ain't hear me.
Food
They cut
stamps.
my food stamps. I ain't paying for none of this shit. I got babies at home.
Once again, listen to the audio.
You think I'm just gonna leave my cart here? Hell no. I ain't paying nothing. I'm walking out with it. Try and stop me.
Now, once again, that's an AI deepfake, but each of those clips fit into a target audience's imagination of what is happening in the world. So it is believed. Even after you might point out to these people that this stuff is fake, many will resist it or fall back
Will
on
just
the
be
same
like,
reasoning that
yeah.
Rogan gave.
And you know why I fell for it?
Yeah.
Because I believe that he's capable of doing something.
But that's
that
his
dumb.
essence.
He's so weird.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that video was fake, but it's probably something that's
It's
already
probably
happening
something that
anyways.
happened.
And
you know?
that instinct
And that is the
why
issue.
Deepfakes are so dangerous. They let us see and hear what we already expected to. It allows propagandists to further radicalize us into
Yeah.
beliefs that we already have. And even if you don't fall for it, the propaganda is still poison because it wears you out. If you see enough of it, you don't bother to learn what the truth is.
Exactly.
Who knows what's real anyways? And speaking of that, what's real? Let's talk about the real roots of deepfakes.
Okay.
Hello, handsome.
Oh man.
You look lonely. I can fix that.
Chad, do I put a timestamp for this video to like skip the next part? I might.
Adult media is credited as an early driver of technological change, and deepfakes are no different.
My name is Cecilia D'Anastasio, and I'm a reporter with Bloomberg News.
And specifically, you talk about deepfakes, right? Like the rise of this technology. Can you give me a quick lay of the land of like what has been happening in the last few years?
So we started hearing the word deepfake in around 2017. It was popularized through a subreddit, also called Deepfakes, where people would post sort of face-swapped images of celebrities that were intended to be pornographic. That subreddit got about 100,000 members before it was banned.
And it's
even though
so
people weren't able to
so
post
weird that this is something that people do. It's so weird.
deepfakes on that subreddit anymore. Demand for the deepfakes and demand for the technology producing those deepfakes only grew.
So it turns out deepfakes originally
So
came
2017
from
chat is
people
9
wanting to
years.
digitally undress people without consent, or face swap celebrities into explicit videos, which for the person on the receiving end, to be clear, is an awful experience.
It is incredibly traumatizing to wake up one morning
Yep.
and just see someone on the internet go through your image and decide, you know, I don't want to see you with clothes on, I want to see you in this different way, and just take your agency away. What they're doing is telling these women, like, you are not a person. You are, to me, this object of desire, and that is a very difficult thing for people to take sitting
Yeah,
down.
and they shouldn't have to, go through something like that. So you need regulation. People need to get charged for doing stuff like that.
Laws against them. Now, luckily, Congress finally remembered we can make laws, and the Take It Down Act was created to criminalize the non-consensual publication of intimate imagery. Not only that, the Defiance Act is also being pushed, which lets the victim sue the perpetrator. And this has been gathering a lot of public support too.
It's the newest form of victimization happening at scale to your daughters, your sisters, your friends, and neighbors. A staggering 1 in 8 girls today are experiencing the harms of AI-generated deepfake porn.
Yeah, she's right. I mean, ultimately, this stuff is kind of a no-brainer. It should
So
be banned,
sad,
it should
bro.
be prosecuted. And that's not even getting into the fact that a lot of the targets of this stuff are not over 18. Deepfakes regularly produce CSAM, child exploitation material. So all of this has finally kind of icked lawmakers enough to start pushing change, which is good. Like, it's the lowest bar. But to be clear, no laws are perfect, and these laws specifically put the burden of finding and reporting this non-consensual imagery onto the victims of it instead of the platform.
Yeah, bro.
Kind of
and he's gonna talk about Grok, because Grok's stuff, I think I'm even mentioned in another video recently, but Grok's stuff is so bad, bro. And it's just like, I did mention, I think I mentioned it in the Discord one. The Discord one got too dark. Follow the Twitch Story Mike with 2 eyes. We react to a bunch more stuff that I don't post on here. But yeah, like, man, like, it's just, I don't know.
When you think about it, especially when sometimes the platforms themselves are creating the imagery or media in the first place.
Exactly, like
I'm
Grok.
talking about Grok.
In 2025, Grok released what they called spicy mode. Toward the end of the year, users began utilizing.
Why
Grok's
was this
spicy
ever
mode
legal? I don't understand why. And Elon, like, I don't know how you messed up so bad. It would have been something if it was like your own photos, but how are people able to comment under somebody else's tweet and say whatever prompt, and Grok decided to do it? That was the biggest issue, and it's why I genuinely felt so bad for so many people, because, like, you have to think about, like, the potential victim case. Like, it is literally anybody could be a victim of that, and anybody was a victim of that because Elon let Grok do this for like a week or not. Elon, it's Elon's company, but allegedly it was like a couple of weeks. I don't remember the actual time frame, but it was something that it was just not good. It was just not good, you know.
Turn X into
Not
the
at
number
all.
1 deepfake generator across the entire internet, according to our analysis. What happened was that in a 24-hour period early
24,
January,
okay.
we found that
24
Grok had
hours.
generated
Oh.
6,700 non-consensual sexualized deepfakes.
So no, this is just a day. This is just a day of it. Wow. 84 times more in one day. And how long was this going on for? Does she say
hour.
it?
That was just 1 hour.
1 hour?
Experts we interviewed said that it was completely
I swear I thought she said 1 day.
unprecedented, and it continued for days.
Yeah, so Grok,
Continue for days.
also owned by the same people who own X, produced 6,700
Man.
non-consensual deepfakes in 1 hour, and our laws would require all those affected to manually fill out reports for each of those posts, which is obviously unrealistic. I mean, if you're a billion
Not even
company
unrealistic,
with a
just
spicy deepfake
pathetic
tool, you
and
should be
sad.
liable for that spicy deepfake
Yes.
tool. And maybe Elon knows that because eventually he capitulated and claimed he was restricting the tool use, although like a lot of things Elon says, this has been disputed. Ultimately though, that's just part of the deepfake story in explicit content, the use of non-consensual imagery. We are trying to ban that. It is imperfect, but ultimately almost all the stakeholders agree it should be banned. It's just a disagreement about how that's in practice going to happen. But the other part of this story is that part of what Grok showed is how much engagement this type of material can generate. And so certain
Sadly.
businesses are in a mad scramble to leverage it in a legal way. Maybe you've seen stories of companionship bots. OpenAI is
The bots,
considering
like we
a
talked
not
about
safe-
with what's it called? We've talked about AI bots in the past in a couple of those videos, but the issue with this is that people like OnlyFans chicks are using like Grok, and they're using these deepfake stuff to make their stuff easier. And so it's kind of like, in a way, it's not ethical. None of this is ethical. None of this we touch is going to be ethical, right? But there's some OnlyFans chicks that are making AI like deepfake versions of themselves and then having the people talk to them. And then that alone is, you know, not ethical in some ways. And so people are trying, like businesses and people are trying to leverage money out of it.
For work mode. Other people are fully deep faking women who don't exist at all.
Yeah,
and still
which is
others
what I
are
mentioned
trying to
earlier.
Deep fake someone who does exist, but with their consent, like an OnlyFans agency.
All the marketing content is AI. So obviously why we do this is because we can get the model to create content, but with AI these days and how hyper realistic it is, we can create like unlimited quality content at a few clicks of a finger. So obviously we leverage that and create as much content as possible and splurt it out across every social media platform, which funnels back into OnlyFans, which creates us the revenue, of course. But then there's also guys that I know personally
So,
that just
like,
do AI created models.
That is. He told me he runs an OnlyFans agency, and he said his customers have no idea that some of the posts are
AI
AI
generated?
deepfakes, and that sometimes the model doesn't exist at all.
Do the guys, the guys who are purchasing this know that it's not real?
No, they don't.
And that's the ethical thing.
How is that possible?
But
Maybe-
it's
wait,
OnlyFans.
maybe
How
you're giving-
ethical
not
can
giving
you
enough
get
credit.
with
Maybe
it?
they know, they just don't want to know, if that makes sense.
No, I don't think they know, my friends. I don't think they know. The 99% of the people that are scrolling through these reels they can't detect that it's AI. So they're still subscribing as if it's a real model. Which obviously then they subscribe and then they have
And then
chatters
they-
on the back end, they chat to these people and obviously build relationships. So they're not talking
Which is
to a
very-
girl. In fact, she doesn't
doesn't feel
exist.
ethical,
of
but
course,
it's
with
like,
we
what
do,
is
the girl
ethical in this
doesn't exist.
situation?
But they don't know what their names are, what they look like, or whatever. The girls that we manage don't even go on the OnlyFans profile and they don't check any of the messages. So I mean, it's all fake. It's all fugazi, my friend. I don't know.
That does seem kind of, it's kind of like a weird kind of scam where if the guy actually thinks he's paying to chat with the girl, and none of these guys are actually chatting with any girl, at best they're chatting with probably a different girl, another man, or at worst, I guess, a bot, like just a straight up bot. I guess that's where it's going anyways.
There's no bots that can replicate it as of yet, but
So-
I can say that 99% of the chatters are from the Philippines, just chatting to these individuals, building the relationships, and
Yo, he just like sneak dissed the Philippines.
I want to be honest here. This is a scam. And afterwards, I dug into this guy and I realized he was also selling young men on how to do the same thing. So to avoid promoting him, I've removed his name from this video. And I want to be clear, he's promoting some very unethical tactics. Like in one group
Very
chat,
unethical.
He says you need to get extra creative if you want to rinse your buyers properly. And
My grandmother just passed away. This is the worst. Yo.
suggest telling your chatters a fake story saying the sick grandmother will print you money, and he sends sample messages of how you can talk about this dead grandmother who doesn't exist and a funeral cost that doesn't exist, all in order to get the person to send the model more money. So it's like really gross and ethically disgusting. But I found it very telling because I ended up asking about an earlier comment he made where he said deepfake technology is probably bad for society, and yet he uses it. And I wanted to know how he can justify that.
I believe it's bad also, even though I'm in the industry. You know, I've been in the industry for 3 years now.
Society at large, you said, oh, this is kind of bad. But you're in the industry. So explain your
So
thinking there.
explain-
Is it
yeah.
like, well, you got to get the bag somehow, and it's just all going down anyways. I'm not going to change that.
Yeah, I think it's go get the bag, and I think there's a lot of worse industries out there that you could obviously indulge in to get more money, and I think
That is true. That is always true. But at the same time, and we've had this conversation before, just because what he just said, like, because, you know, it's not the worst thing doesn't mean you have to do it. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like, just because something is not as bad as the latter doesn't mean you have to do the first thing.
that it's just the way humans are these days. I mean, if you can't beat them, join them and make a lot of money, and it is what it is.
It's unethical, but go ahead and make your money as long as you're not doing something illegal or weird.
That isn't the slogan of our
But
era.
weird is subjective. Illegal as in, yeah,
I swear, AI was a mistake.
as in like non-consent
No offense.
stuff and all that stuff.
Really, man? AI? You know Grandma Boy's your problem, right?
No, let's not do this AI defender thing again, please. Come on.
Well, you're in my bar. I'm not gonna stand here and let you blame us while humans caused all your problems.
It is your people, though. I mean, you have to admit. You see the video, deepfakes? That's the problem, right? That's your guys.
It's the gun versus the gunman, Coffee. Who prompted all that stuff?
Well, obviously we did, but we didn't actually make the videos and images.
Aha! So you admit we're not the cause. We just helped you humans see more of what you already were. Horny, lying thieves.
Calm down. I mean, I'm glad you feel that way about us. So I guess you have no problem then with Grok?
Oh,
making
Grok
6,700 non-consensual images. That's cool with you, right? Because it's the effect, not the cause, according to you.
Really? Really? You're gonna bring up Grok. You know what? F you, Coffee. Why don't you have Grok mix your drinks from now on?
No, go ahead. I want to hear you defend it. No,
Always
This segment is insane.
Rock this, rock that.
Undressing women and kids is fine if you're a robot.
Elon Musk.
I want you to do it. Go on.
All right. I'll defend it. Just, give me a second. Hold on, I gotta put this on and... Just 1 second. Yeah, nah, I'm not gonna defend that. Yeah, you got me.
Oh, man. For a second there, I was a bit worried. I thought you were gonna...
I had you, though, didn't I?
For a moment,
This segment
the two-way
is...
stuff was good. I thought that was strong.
Gun not the shooter. I don't know. I thought it was good.
It was good. I believed you for a second there, and then I realized, wait, the non-consensual images. It's a low bar, though. I'm glad we can agree to it.
It is a low bar. It's the Mariana Trench.
It's good. It's a good start.
Extremely low bar.
We can build on this. Maybe we should try something. Maybe you should admit something now.
Okay, go ahead. I'm feeling charitable.
All right. Maybe, just maybe, some of you are definitely horny lying thieves. I mean, can we agree on that?
Wait, what?
Okay. You know what? You're right. I think I could admit to that. Fine. I mean, that is, I guess, why we need the laws in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Laws
you
need
the
to
laws
exist.
Because you can't control yourselves.
Yeah. We have no self-control. I thought that was obvious.
From abusing our mighty abilities.
Okay. No.
Yo, how long is this segment,
Fine.
bro?
We're agreeing. Sure.
This is the end of the video?
Perfect. Beautiful. That's good. And people say you've gotten too cynical.
I have. But this is good, too. This is good. This is a start.
Wait, are we actually a team now? I don't think I've ever agreed with you on anything.
We are a team. In fact, let's have a drink. Let's toast to that, buddy. Let's do it.
Sure thing, boss. Wait, how can I trust you to not abuse my newfound awesome powers?
Of making drinks? I guess you can't be sure. Maybe you can cut me off. Just not this time, though.
Oh man. Okay. That's a video for sure. Okay. Yeah. If you guys have any comments, I definitely want to talk about this one. I wish there was some more people in chat for this one today. But yeah, like this stuff is getting crazy, bro. Like I don't know, bro. Like we're headed towards a lot. Like the Grok stuff was, I'm pretty sure this calendar year, like 2026. Yeah, I can't imagine what's next. Like I always say it, hopefully we get regulations in at time, because like I said, the worst thing that there is to have victims of stuff that you could have prevented. So yeah, you guys have any comments, let me know. Make sure to follow the Twitch, StoryofMike with 2 eyes, sub to the channel. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.